let me just add that his son is purchasing through Skydance Paramount CBS as well. So Larry's buying TikTok and taking that over. And then you have his son taking over CBS News, who's already said that he's probably going to buy Barry Weiss's company and have her involved in the news operations, as well as Paramount Pictures, one of the country's oldest, most powerful myth-making organizations ever to exist.
And here's Netanyahu.
We have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is followers. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one? That's most important.
X.
X. That's very good. And, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now. We have to fight the fight, okay? To give direction to the Jewish people and give direction to our non-Jewish friends or those who could be our Jewish our friends.
That's scary as hell. That is terrifying, actually. I mean, let's not forget, the Congress did it not required the Chinese company to divest itself of TikTok, or else they were going to shut it down. So they got to sell. And now who are they selling to? They're selling to Larry Ellison, who is a big supporter of the IDF. The Prime Minister of Israel is publicly stating what we have to do about American media in order to deal with the propaganda needs of his government. I don't begrudge him looking after his interests, but his interests are not, ipso facto, our interests, and that people aligned with his interests would be in control of major organs of media. We got to talk to Elon. He's not our enemy. He's our friend. That's pretty chilling. I thought the United States of America was an independent republic of 350 million people with a 250-year history that was a noble experiment in democratic freedom. And I wake up to learn, well, it may be those things, but it's certainly not only those things. And there are forces in the world that can work against that. Controlling the information flow to American people in the interest of supporting the agenda and the program of a foreign government. Now, suppose that foreign government was Saudi Arabia. Suppose that foreign government were Russia. Suppose the foreign government were China. I should think a lot of people would have a problem with that kind of influence. If that foreign government is Israel, it's okay. I'm hard-pressed to affirm that position. Now, Jews in control of the media, running the world for their interest and running our interest into the ground kind of talk is textbook anti-Semitism, conspiracy theoretic, career-ending speculation. I'm not engaging in it.
Man. So you said it was chilling. Why does it make you feel so cold? What is it? Help us get to that understanding for you. Like, what is it that chilled you when you heard the...
Well, I'm not a big consumer of TikTok, but I do go online from time to time. And sometimes I start scrolling down, the little quick videos, they're 90 seconds or whatever. And I hear a lot of critical commentary about the war in Gaza on TikTok. And again, I'm not a devotee. It's not something I do every day. It's not something I spend hours doing. But I can find myself, I might get referred to something, linked to something, and then the next thing you know, I'm in that environment and I'm scrolling. And I hear a lot of comedic and sarcastic and biting and sharply critical stuff where they're talking about the genocide in Gaza, quote unquote. That's the only place I hear it. Pretty much. I certainly don't hear it on CBS. I certainly don't hear it on CNN. Now, the idea that source of commentary in a free society would be extirpated, stifled, plugged up, shut up, in part in response to the dictates and interests of a foreign government is chilling. I mean, what am I missing in saying that?
I mean, it's chilling. That's why it brought me to my understanding of our societies through the French Enlightenment of the different estates. And that's why the idea of the second estate being combining from not only being the nobility, the billionaires, and the politicians that are running the government to then owning the means of communication, not to borrow from the Marxist tradition of means of production, but it seems like that's the means of communication. I am a capitalist, period. No question about it. I believe in the velocity of money and hail Greenspan, hail all the Treasury secretaries. But at the same time, this terrifies me, brother. And I need a little, you made me feel great about AI. I asked you the question, you're like, it'll be disruptive, but it's going to be okay. Huge relief I'm like, oh, okay. I don't have to worry about that anymore. But here I'm saying, Glenn, do I got to worry about this? Like, is this something like I got to pick up my pistol about and hold my rifle and clean my gun about? Is this why I have the Second Amendment? I get scared. So I need your help.
Well, I was relying on the First Amendment. The Second Amendment is a different path.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm asking.
Well, I would hope the First Amendment would hold up in the face of these kinds of pressures and that we wouldn't have to get to, taking it to the streets.
But is it holding up, Glenn? Because, think about after this Kirk thing took off, how many people got fired from their jobs for saying their opinions? I mean, obviously, I misunderstood the First Amendment.
That's a separate issue in a way, but okay. I mean, it's a separate issue than the Prime Minister of Israel saying we got to worry about TikTok and we got to worry about X. But never mind, because our people are working on it. The thing about there's a way to mourn Kirk, and you'd better mourn him this way and no other, or not mourn him at all, otherwise you're going to be in trouble, is also troubling in its way, but in my mind, less so. I mean, it'd be any analogy I use here is going to be problematic for some people, but some prominent person on the left gets gunned down and people dancing on his grave, and there would be a lot of blowback from that as well.
Nick, do you want to throw Scott's question up for Glenn?
Glenn, in any of these discussions, what concerns me is not the topic, but the selective outrage. I'll just be equally blunt back. If it's Jews, it's news. I get really concerned when Charlie Kirk gets murdered and all this stuff. I go on Candace Owens, and she's talking about Israel and assassination, and she gets 1.5 million views and 15,000 comments, and I go on there. And Robert, you talk about owning a gun. I haven't shot a gun in 40 years. I bought a gun 4 years ago with all the crap that was happening with the George Floyd thing. It's been sitting locked under my bed for 4 years. But since that happened, with all this stuff happening now, I'm thinking I need to go to a gun range and get ready with and get my skills up to date. I mean, it's been 40 years. It scares me when I see the stuff coming out of there, Glenn. It is like a cesspool of humanity. It's not. I agree with you. We need the free speech. That was my argument to Manhattan Institute. Yes, I am concerned about the concentration of power across the board. Across the board, I'm concerned, and you ought to be concerned. And I don't hear you ranting. Maybe you have. I don't think I've heard you rant about the billions of dollars coming from government foreign governments into your university and the rest of those universities for the last 20 years. I mean, they're coming from there and they're supporting and in some ways also coercing and upending, and biasing people's speech. Let's talk about it all. Yes, and if we don't put a stop to it, then let's deal with it. It's what bothers me is selective outrage. It really scares me. It scares me.